Hey, everybody, welcome to WCA Extra. This is our live desk streaming show that kicks off every day at 9:15. I just wanted to, first off, kind of loop in our Adam Sullivan here. He was in Lebanon, New Hampshire yesterday, looking at some upgrades to the fire department over there. Adam, first of all, good morning. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning, John. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. So kind of jumping right into it, some major, upgrades to the fire department, specifically their two, firehouses. Just kind of, fill us in here what that looks like initially as far as the upgrades, or I think we said facelift this morning, but I think it's more of an overhaul in the sense, correct?
Yeah, definitely. Both the stations ideally will eventually be torn down, and it's really in response to the Upper Valley as a whole growing. As the community grows, first responders, more first responders have to be hired in order to adequately respond to emergency. So essentially, the short of it is that both stations are too small, and the community has known that for a while, and they need to replace them both. The plan was to start with Station 2, the smaller station, and to replace that one first at a price tag around $6 million. But there was really pushback from the community because the ideal site for the fire station, the fire officials, I should say, was not the ideal site for the community because it was more in a neighborhood setting. So that part of the project really is on hold right now. And because Station 1, the plan is to knock down the building and to rebuild on that same footprint, it was less controversial, I guess, if you will. So that's the project that's going on right now, a $24 million overhaul. It will completely demolish the building and then build up a new structure in the same spot.
Yeah. And kind of moving forward, I know it's just kind of more of an upgrade itself, but you had mentioned that there is also the underlying problem here, which is firefighters getting cancer, and that's more or less just occupational hazard, and how they kind of want to steer around it and fix that. Kind of describe that for me.
Yeah, as a journalist, John, we're, you and I both, I'm sure you'll say the same thing. We're constantly learning on the job. And one thing that really struck me about this story is to find out that occupational cancer for firefighters is the leading cause of death. We don't know when we think of firefighters, going out to a call, they're putting out fires and, hopefully everyone is okay and they're calling it a day and going back to the firehouse.
Yeah.
But oftentimes those fires are mixed with chemicals. Sometimes the foam retardants that they're spraying on the fires themselves can be cancer causing. So when a firefighter returns from a call, ideally they're able to sort of decom and separate the contaminated clothing and materials with their living quarters, because as we all know, firefighters oftentimes live at the firehouse.
Yeah.
But in Lebanon's case, because these buildings were built, in the 1950s, the buildings are simply too small to do that. So there's no real separation of hazardous materials and normal day-to-day operations, if you will. So that's one of the big upgrades and improvements that is really on a priority for the fire stations as they are revamped and remodeled and rebuilt.
Yeah, it's something I've definitely never really considered, especially, out in the downtime, there still is that hazard from really what they're bringing home with them, from when they're out and fighting the fire. But I hate to backtrack here, Adam, but I know, I think you mentioned it in your package as well, but they're building one, they're removing the asbestos first, and then the plan is to tear it down, and then they're in the same spot, right?
Yeah, and it's going to be a long process. The asbestos is going to take about 2 weeks, and that's really, construction this time, in the 1950s, really, that's just normal building materials that they're dealing with. So they're going to get that out, and they're going to tear the building down. It's a 20-month rebuild, so it's going to take almost 2 years to get this done. But what's also sort of fascinating about this project is they rebuilt a temporary firehouse in the public works yard of the city of Lebanon. So it's this sort of shell of a garage, but it fits all the equipment. It fits the vehicles. There's actually a gym for the firefighters. There is some of that decom or the cleaning apparatus for when they come back from calls. And then they have 2 trailers next to that where the firefighters are living. So temporary operations in Lebanon, or I should say full emergency response operations in Lebanon, will be operating business as usual as this build takes place. But it's out of this really temporary area and structure, which is also sort of interesting to the eye.
Absolutely, and it sounds like they have a nice little, I guess, in the shorthand, the workaround there. But as far as building, and then going back to the second building, I know a little bit of a public pushback there. Any kind of timeline on that?
Right now I think
Yeah.
they're focused on the 20-month build of the main station, Fire Station 1. And another thing, why it's relevant that this station's going first, even though ideally they didn't want to go first. Station 1 gets way more calls. They get double the amount of calls, roughly 10 to 12 calls a day out of the station that's being rebuilt, compared to 3 to 4 days on Station 2. I know Station 2, though, is still a priority for firefighters. They say that they need a new station, but I think coming to terms on where it's going to be is going to be the main priority. But because they have such a big project going on right now, I doubt there will be any movement on the second rebuild until the first one is completed.
Yeah, no, definitely. Sounds like this won't be the last time you'll be headed out to Lebanon for sure. So I'll keep your eye on it for it, Adam. Thanks so much for hopping on this morning. Again, shedding some light. We'll show that story in just a sec here, but I appreciate you stopping by and kind of just describing some things.
Yep, always a pleasure, John. Thank you,
Adam. Thanks so much. That was our Adam Sullivan talking about some upgrades to Lebanon Fire Department as they kind of look to. Fix them up, some stuff around their stations, their two firehouses there. We'll play his story in just a sec, but yeah, some very good upgrades for them. Let me just grab this.
Both fire stations here in Lebanon, New Hampshire are outdated, too small, and need to be replaced. Work on Station 1, here off the green, has begun. Once the asbestos is removed from the firehouse, the building will be torn down. The new station will add an additional 10,000 square feet on a similar footprint.
It doesn't host our modern fire apparatus, the size of our apparatus. Our staffing is increased. We don't have room for our staffing, and it doesn't meet health and safety concerns. So the stuff comes out of the washer there. And
concerns that mostly deal with how firefighters clean up after a contamination, which the chief explains while giving us a tour of the temporary fire operations at the city's public works facility. The current system, similar to the old station, does not have a place to separate dirty materials and clothing after a call.
We'll have a separation when we come back with contaminated equipment. There'll be a separate area where that equipment and personnel goes and they decom.
Lebanon Station 2 faces the same challenges. But after pushback from the public over possible locations, that project has been put on the back burner. Station 1's facelift comes with a price tag of more than $23 million. But the chief says safety for his staff and the public will be vastly improved.
One of the leading causes of death in firefighters is occupational cancer, and we're trying to reduce that risk.
City officials did a study of response times in preparation of the construction, and they say the public will not notice interruption in service during the 20 months that this project is underway. Reporting from Lebanon, New Hampshire, Adam Sullivan, Channel 3 News.
Taking a look at our Rutland cam here, in between the pavement and the sky, just a real gray day out there, Peter. And not only gray, but just kind of a cooler one at that.
Yeah, definitely a kind of gray, foggy, kind of murky day out there. And also very fall-like, as you mentioned. As a matter of fact, a lot of us starting off the day today, we're in the 40s and 50s, and we're really not going to climb all that much. Most of us are probably going to be in the upper 50s and low to mid 60s here this afternoon.
I'm not ready for that. You know what I mean? I like the fall as much as the next guy. Look, I like the leaves. Big reason why people come to Vermont, but just let me just enjoy some summer. It's a little bit longer.
I have to admit, I'm kind of probably going to enjoy the next 2 days because it means I'm turning off the air conditioner. All the windows in my apartment are already opened. We're going to get that nice kind of fall breeze. We'll give that electricity bill a break here.
All right, we'll get there.
Yeah, it's not all that bad. You know what? We got to return to summer as well. So for now, here's the view on satellite radar out there. Few passing rain showers out there still, especially across the far northern portions of the area. And it's going to be the farther north you go that we see the best chance of seeing some of these spotty rain showers here through the course of the day. Today, live look outside from Newport right now. You can still see some of those light rain showers out in that direction. 52 degrees right now in Newport. Winds out of the north between 5 and 10 miles per hour. At times gusting upwards of 20 to 25 miles per hour. Church Street, you can see some raindrops on the camera here in Church Street from Burlington. We got 57 degrees, winds out of the north between 10 and 15 miles per hour, and pressure sitting at 29.88 inches and rising. Here's the temperatures out there. Most of, if not all of us, still in the 50s. We're got a 61 right now in Brattleboro, but again, most of us will be hanging out in the upper 50s and low to mid 60s here as we head towards this afternoon. So definitely shaping up to be a rather fall-like day out there. As a matter of fact, where we go this afternoon, probably going to be a good 5 to 15 degrees cooler than where we should be for this time of year, and that's how we're shaping up right now. So here's the 24-hour temperature change. So most of us right now a good 10 to 15 plus degrees cooler than where we were at this time yesterday, and that trend will continue here through the course of the day today. Here's how the day shapes up. Generally, we'll talk about a good amount of cloud cover out there. Still a chance at a few passing rain showers here and there through the course of the day today. We head into your day on Wednesday. Tomorrow, I think we feature a bit more cloud cover. Also, the better chance at a few rain showers here through the course of the day on Wednesday. We begin to decrease that cloud cover towards the day on Thursday. Still a chance at a passing rain shower or two here through the course of the day on Thursday. Then you can see as we head towards Thursday evening, Thursday night, those clouds begin to break apart. We'll start to get in on a bit more sunshine as we head towards Friday and into the upcoming weekend. Dew points significantly lower, so the cold front not only knocked down temperatures, but definitely knocked down those dew points as well. Talking dew points right now in the upper 40s and 50s, so downright dry and comfortable air in place, and we're really not going to go anywhere too soon with these dew points. We're going to hang out in the 50s here for the next several days. As we head towards that Sunday, Monday time frame, that's when they start to tick back up into the 60s. That's also when we start to get in on some more summer-like air out there as we start to climb closer back to that 80-degree mark. For now, though, here's a look at where we're going this afternoon. Partly sunny skies overhead. Again, the chance at a few stray rain showers here through the course of the day today. Daytime highs, mid to upper 50s, low to mid 60s out there. Hard to believe that we could be talking about some places that don't get out of 50s here this afternoon. Tonight, overnight lows, again, they'll fall back into the 40s and 50s, partly cloudy skies overhead. We head into your day on Wednesday. I think most of us back into the 60s here come tomorrow afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies overhead. Again, a few more rain showers here through the course of your day tomorrow. 7-day forecast showing a few leftover showers for the day on Thursday. Then as we head towards Friday and the weekend and into the start of next week, we're talking about some nice weather heading our way. Sunshine makes its return. Temperatures climb through the 70s, back towards the 80s, and look at the first day of the Champlain Valley Fair here for the day on Friday. Not looking too bad. Good amount of sunshine, temperatures mid to upper 70s and lower 80s.
And you and I are going to be there.
Yeah, the entire morning team going to be out there Friday afternoon.
Me, Peter, Alyssa, all going to be at the Champlain Valley Fair. Kind of get some good food. If you have any good food recommendations, by the way, I haven't been to this fair yet. So, fried Oreos.
Yep.
It's not elephant ear, by the way. We're talking about that. We were talking about that a couple weeks ago.
This,
it was fried dough.
Yep.
Funnel cake.
Funnel cake.
Elephant ear.
Yeah.
Just doesn't.
That was one I had never heard of before.
Yeah. But yeah, if you have any good recommendations, of course. Other things in the docket too, just really quick as well. DNC this week. Calvin Cutler is there live throughout the next few days. He'll actually be on Extra tomorrow morning live in Chicago. So be sure to tune in for that one. Get some good insights from him as well. If you don't miss that, of course, you can see him on the evening shows as well. So definitely something to tune in for, and be looking out for that as well. But I think that in mind, Peter, I think we're all set here. So I think we're going to let you guys go, get on with your day, and of course, you can check back in on Channel 3 News at noon, and then stay us tonight for the evening shows as well. But with that in mind, probably let you go, and we'll see you later.